What's going on out there, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of The Negative Degree. I'm your host, DJ Frostbite. Let's get negative, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I know a lot of people will go, "Oh, positive vibes only. Why won't be positive?" Yeah, this is a space where we take that phrase and we punch it in the fucking face. There cannot be positive without negative, ladies and gentlemen. Also, with that, I will make sure that anything that I say, I will try to explain because, hey, I might say something outlandish, but it's a heat of the moment type of thing. So, this is the first episode of this I'm doing. I'm not nervous about it, but it's just a thing of I'm not really trying to watch what I say because, hey, I say shit. I'm not trying to say anything to offend people. That's a big thing. But I get angry. I get pissed off like everybody else does. And instead of me putting it on social media and getting it put out of context or just ranting, well, I'm going to be ranting on here, but instead of not getting context of what I'm trying to say, podcast, you get to hear me actually say what I need to say. And you'd be like, oh, okay, that's relatable. So with this first episode, I first want to talk about a date I went on recently and a few dates I've been going on recently. So, some backstory with that. I recently got back onto Tinder, Bumble, and a couple other like dating apps. And like Tinder and all those other stupid ass dating apps, they don't work for shit. Tinder is supposed to be for hookups. You see girls in there be like, oh, I don't really know what I want. Or looking for my husband. I'm like, you're in the wrong place for this. Like, go on Christian Mingle, go on farmersonly.com, whatever. Like, this is supposed to be for hookups and stuff like that. Haven't hooked up with anybody once yet. Bumble, kind of the same thing. It's, looking for relationships and this and that. But then it's just so many different crazy things with, like, dating apps. Just dating in general fucking sucks. It really, really sucks. So, I actually matched with someone. I'm not going to say a name as much as I want to right now. I'm not going to say a name. I will be the bigger man and try to be respectful, even though I'm about to talk shit on this. So, we were talking for a while. Well, just back and forth texting, messaging, stuff like that. And one day, I asked her, hey, do you want to meet up and grab some food? That's general thing I usually do, especially with someone that I haven't met before. Let's meet up somewhere neutral, have a drink, or just some food, depending on if you don't drink or not. And then have some conversations, see how things fills out, like dates usually normally are. So, we meet up, we go to Old Chicago, like, hey, we're not too far from each other. Old Chicago isn't too far from where I live. It's not too far from where you are either. We can meet up there, completely casual. She had just got done working out, said she didn't have any makeup on, this and that. I was like, hey, that's no problem. You don't have to be super dressed up. It could be casual. And she was like, all right, but, you can't be dressed up better than I am. She was in a sweatsuit and she was in a pink sweatsuit and some gym shoes. I was like, all right, like I'll put some jeans. She was like, no, you gotta wear something worse. You gotta put like sweats or something else. So I was like, all right, I'll wear joggers. I wore joggers and this exact like short sleeve hoodie, like same one. And then I wore some Nike slides, which I should have just put some gym shoes on. But hey, I'm trying to fit the aesthetic of just casual first time meeting, keeping it neutral. Cool. Meet up there. I get there before her. I'm waiting for her to get there. We meet, shake hands. I be the gentleman, open up the doors. And if any of you that have been to Old Chicago, and some of you if you haven't, so Old Chicago, of course, they have like the first door where you enter, and it's like the over like room where they got like the couches and stuff where they gotta like wait for people to wait so they can get seated. Then you have the regular door. Open both of them, no problem. We go sit down at the booth. We both get a drink. We both get some wings. We start talking back and forth, telling each other different stuff. We eat, still having conversations, and bill comes. She had to go to the bathroom. The bill came probably like 5, 10 minutes later on, like 5 minutes later, whatever, something like that. It's like 30 something bucks somewhere around there. Put 40 down that way, got the tip for a waitress who was completely nice, professional, on time with everything, even though as busy as they were. They forgot certain stuff, try to let shit go, because you got to be nice to your wait staff and bartenders and stuff like that. Shit fucking happens. There are certain times where, yes, I've gotten pissed about something taking too long. Looking at you, I hop, but try to be cool ahead. And this wasn't even that bad. So she comes back, and I see you just wait. I was like, oh, hey, I already paid for the bill. We can go. And she was like, okay. We walk out, and I said this directly. I was like, I was going to ask if you wanted to split, but it's all right. I paid for it. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Nothing at all. Like I said, the fact that it's our first time ever meeting each other, ever doing anything. I mean, hey, it might not have been a great meetup for her. And just like I said, keeping it neutral. We both, if it wouldn't have worked out, we both would have went our separate ways. I would have paid for my stuff. She would have paid for her stuff. And would have never talked after that. But no. They go home thinking everything is cool. Then Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday. So, for anyone who doesn't know, which I don't know, well, it's probably a lot of people don't know, I am an actual DJ. Shocking. So, Wednesday was one of the biggest days/nights for me because I had a huge lineup of DJs coming to Blue Nightclub. I had Carbon, DJ Carbon, Super J, J Scratch, my homie Rosie, Safari Chandler, DJ Native, like all these different guys coming in. And then even more guys asking me that they wanted to come by and perform, later on in the day and even that night. So I'm hyped. I'm super excited, got all these different DJs. I was, thinking it was going to be a huge crowd. It really wasn't, but honestly, I really didn't care once I got there because I was like just seeing these guys perform and stuff. But, me and her were still liking each other back and forth for like a few weeks or whatever. And, I sent her this message. I was like, hey, I know you work long hours because she's a nurse. But I know you work long hours. You work out. You don't really have too much time to do things, on your own to do stuff like that. Whenever you have a free day, I would like to take you out on a proper date. Like, get dressed, go out somewhere nice, have a decent meal, because wings aren't bad, but actually having somewhere you got to use like fork and knife or something like that. And have, a conversation like how we did the first time we met. And it seemed like she was cool with it, but then herein lies the problem. So, again, I'll bring it back to the first time we met when I said I was like, hey, I was going to ask if you wanted to split, but, it's whatever, I paid. So apparently it's been in her mind the entire time when I said that. So she mentioned it. And she was like, oh, well, honestly, the first time we met was cool, but the fact that you asked me to pay I felt a little bit offended. I'm just like, okay. In my mind, I'm just like, okay, that's weird, but I mean, she's entitled to her opinion, whatever. And then it escalates from there. It goes from, oh, I felt a certain way, and it's blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, oh, like, if it's a money issue, like, it's no problem. Like, I don't mind paying. I never mind paying for a date. Especially, like, I asked, go on a date. I wouldn't mind paying, but it was the fact that it was the first time of us meeting. Didn't know how she felt about me, whatever. And I did like her. But I was like, first time meeting, just keep it neutral. Then the next time, I'd pay. So then it goes from that to, oh, well, I'm this age and I'm old school. I'm used to this. I'm accustomed to this. And I'm just like, Are you fucking kidding me? Like, no one cares. So then it goes from there to, oh, I'm guessing this doesn't really happen. Like, I'm guessing that doesn't really work for you sometimes. Like, most of the time, it was like, what do you mean? She was like, oh, that's the fact, like, the fact that you're single. And I was like, really? You're using me asking to split as me being single, as a reason for me being single. So I sent a voice message. I was like, hey, this has nothing to do with any of that. I'm single by choice. I date here and there, but the last person I was with, she was 45, and we would either split or I would pay for one date and she'd pay for the other. Like it was communication thing. Both being mature. You're like, hey, like somebody don't really make that much money or whatever, or it's just you want to hang out with that person. Do what you got to do. So I explained that, and then she was like, "Oh, I didn't even listen to half of that. You just sound defensive and blah blah blah." I was like, "It has nothing to do with being defensive." It was like, you being used to something doesn't mean shit. Like I could be I could be accustomed to a lot of things, and that doesn't mean I'm gonna get it from every female. You know, which guys listen to that. Like just because you're used to something, don't mean every girl's gonna give it to you. But so it escalates even further. Let's say she's already getting on me about, you know, getting all worked up about me saying we want to split or whatever. Then try to say the reason for me being single is because I asked to split and this and that, blah blah blah. Which I've gone on dates with women who, even on the first date, they paid. And I'm just like, oh wow. And then I would pay the next time, or we would do something, or we would split, or do whatever. It's not that big of a fucking deal. I hate saying this, but it's 2022. I'm like, it's supposed to be the female equality shit or whatever. Like I still, yes, I'm a gentleman. I try to I make sure to take care of whoever I'm with on a date or out or whatever. I have a lot of female friends. My female friends know me. I would try to be a decent person. There's sometimes, yes, I'm a dickhead, but most of the time I am a decent guy. I am a gentleman. I try to do as much as I can. I talk shit, yes, but when I'm on a date, I am a nice person. Until you piss me off, and that's what we're about to get into. So, it's just every time, every message just escalates and escalates and escalates. So now it goes from me being the reason that I'm single is because I wanted to split on the first date to, oh well, I'm this age. I'm accustomed, I'm old school. I'm accustomed to the man paying. I should never have to settle for less. I should never have to pay for the date. Da da da, blah blah blah. And then hit me with a, you have a nice night and take care. So I'm just like, all right, gotta I finna unload the clip on this bitch. And when I say that, it's slang. It's I'm gonna let her know where I'm coming from, and also make her look fucking stupid, and then give her the fucking business. So I message her back. I'm like, look, just because you 36, I fucking I'll say it. Just because you're 36 doesn't mean shit. I'm fucking 20. I'm 27, about to be 28. I've been with women older than you. I've been with girls younger than you, and was way more mature than you ever be. You trying to say that, me want to split or say like, you maybe you get the next date and I'll get the next one, or whatever, is a reason why I'm fucking single is bullshit. Also, the fact that we both met on a dating app. You're single too. You wouldn't be fucking single doing whatever the fuck you were doing. So how you sit there and try to say some shit to me, being like, oh well, you want to split, so there must be a reason why you're single. It must not have worked out for you. I'm just like, you're single too. You're almost 40 on fucking Tinder. Like, I'm allowed to try to okay. Age has nothing to do with anything, but in the heat of the moment, shit's fucking on. And I know somebody gonna be like, oh, you should never argue with the woman. And I'm like, you know what? You are correct. You should never argue with a woman. But see, she walked in as a woman. And then during the heat of this conversation, she became a bitch. And I say that because of how she was fucking treating me. Like, you shouldn't try to say because of one thing, that was a reason for another. I didn't come at her like that until she came at me like that. So it went from me talking to a woman to now me talking to a bitch. And I had to fucking school this bitch about what fuck I'm from and where she fucked up at. Because, yes, I'm single. But that doesn't mean shit. She doesn't know anything about me. She doesn't know if I'm talking to anybody else, which at this point I wasn't. Now I am. And the fact that she had the fucking audacity to just be like, "Oh, you're single because you want to ask to split on the first day." I'm just like, I just met you, dumb bitch. But whatever. So then, like I said, go into all that about being the age, the us meeting on dating app, her being so worked up about the fucking not wanting to pay, which I kept saying. I don't mind paying. Like, that's not a problem. I'll fucking pay. Just shut the fuck up about the shit. I didn't care. I stopped worrying about it. But when you kept going after it over and over and over and over, it starts getting annoying, and I start getting pissed off. So then send her like a huge paragraph. Then she fires back like right in the middle while like I'm writing this fucking message. She was like, "Oh, don't bother writing back. I'm not gonna read it." So I was just like, so that gave me more fuel. Like, I'm fucking pissed off at this point, and I got like an hour or like something before I gotta be at Blue. So I'm still sending this thing, and then I ended off with "You have a good night in," because she has to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to get to her job. So I'm doing my thing. I'm feeling good. Go take a shower, get my bag packed, which I was pissed because I just bought some new cables for my guys who use XLR ends for the controllers. So it was like TRS controllers into the XLR female ports. Left them at home. In my mind, I'm just like, I'll call my dad, tell him about it. He's like, "Man, leave that girl alone. Blah, 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 blah." Same shit always when I tell him about like a certain female. So then I get the Blue, and I tell the bartender about it. I tell a couple of the guys about it. Then I get a message from her being like, "Oh, how dare you try to come for me, this and that, blah, blah, blah." Now this escalates even more. Now she's talking about how, like, again, going back to what I said, I want to keep everything casual. She's talking about the way I was dressed, the way I was looking. I didn't have my hair cut and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Which now I do. It doesn't look it looks like it. It's been like a week since I got my hair cut. My hair grows by fast. It's still decent. I don't know, should have picked it up, but I'm just like, really? You try to go for me not having my hair cut? How about, hey, how about you having your gray showing and then fucking dye your hair? I could have went that far. Didn't do it. She didn't have a fucking hair done. Why does it matter that I didn't have my hair cut? I had it picked out, had it looking nice, had it straightened out, just didn't have it cut, which all I needed was the sides cut. And then like I usually do, I shave the sides and then tell them to take a little bit off the top. Then I told her about, how I live, whatever. Like, as of right now, I don't have a couch. I told her I didn't have furniture, which I should have said what I didn't have. So then she'll be like, "Oh, are you trying to get on me because you tried to tell me I had a great night in when, I got to get up at 4 something in the morning at my great job where I make good money, pay for my great apartment." I'm just like, yeah, I have a job too where I make good money. I live on my own too. This and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you trying to prove here? Like, I don't live with anybody. My dad was staying with me for a little bit, but it was him staying with me, not me staying with him. He didn't pay for anything. I pay for my own shit. I'm a DJ. I make money. I don't make as much money as a lot of DJs do downtown and stuff like that who have residencies, but I make a decent amount of money. I make enough money to where bills need to be paid. I got food in my fridge, or I can go buy food if I want to. I can go out on dates and take dumb bitches who want to argue with me out on dates, shit like that. I know I got a lot of female friends who are just like, man, he's just such an asshole. I'm like, and I'm not. And that's the thing. I don't want anybody to think that I am this asshole douche guy who treats women like shit. I honestly don't. I'm a nice person until you try to fuck me over. That is the biggest thing. I will treat you like you treat me. And when you try to one up me and try to do all this other bullshit, then I gotta come after you. No matter if you're a man, woman, he, she, they, it, whatever. I'm gonna come after you because you try to come after me. That should be the biggest thing. This has nothing to do with me being a man and her being a woman. This is she trying to start shit for no reason. And instead of her being on the first time, we may be like, hey, I didn't feel comfortable with you saying this, da da blah blah blah. She had to hold the shit in for weeks, and then try to fire off at me when I'm just like, hey, I get you, I understand you, but this is where I'm coming from. Try to give somebody my point of view and my experiences. My experience with dating is sometimes on the first date, we'd split, just try to keep it neutral. Then the next date, I would pay, or most of the dates, I would pay, or with some of the women I've dated, we'd split, or I'd pay for the next date. They'd pay for the next date or whatever. It never really mattered. It was like, hey, we're going out and having fun, getting food, getting drinks, doing whatever. But the fact that her whole thing was, oh, she's old school, she should never have to pay, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But then try to do the whole, oh, I'm a single, independent woman who don't need nobody. Apparently, you needed somebody to pay for them fucking dates, though. you know? So then, it escalates from there to, now she's, now she's screenshotting our entire conversation to some other dude, to like other guys or whatever, to try to make me look bad. And I'll say this right now. You can never make me look bad. You can never make me look ashamed. You never make me do anything. I'm shameless. I've gone up to the most beautiful women in bars and shit and completely made, like, it just, not even made an ass of myself, but just like, made a joke, try to get them to talk to me, whatever. They don't want to talk, like, all right, cool, see you, and then dip. I have no shame in anything because I could care less what anybody thinks about me. Like I said, yes, I don't have a couch in here in my place. I make a certain amount of money where I can pay my stuff. I'm not making money where it's like, oh, I'm buying fucking brand new cars and shit like that. Like I make money like I was working a regular job, which it like DJ to me is my regular job. I make enough to where I don't have to work another job. You know, with her, she's busting ass, working 12-hour days, being like, oh, I'm so tired. Where me, shit, I work what four days out of the week, something like 4 or 5 days out of the week. I DJ, I host trivia, I host fucking music bingo, I DJ weddings. I do decently for myself. Not trying to brag or no bullshit like that, but I do decently for myself. And the fact that she try to make it seem like, oh, I'm broke or whatever, and then try to come at me with the, oh, it must not, you being single, it must not work out since you be asking girls to split. I'm just like, that's the dumbest shit in the world to me. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only dude that's ever asked a girl to fucking split a fucking check. Especially the fact that I was the one who was like, hey, we just put it on one check and then we can divvy it up from there. Because I'm pretty sure it was the same amount of shit. We both had the same thing. So, I don't know. That shit pissed me off. It was stupid as fuck in the first place. To the point where, as I said, after she was screenshotting the shit and then trying to get background people who don't even know the fucking situation. And guys, and I'm even talking to myself about this one too. We just need to stop. Like, we know what we doing with shit like that. A girl fucking breaks up with their dude, or they get into an argument with a guy, whatever like that. And then we try to be on their side. Stop it. We really need to fucking stop it. Because we already know what we're trying to do. We're just trying to fuck. We're just trying to get with that girl. We're going to either be the rebound guy, or we're going to be the fucking mistake that you got with because she was sad and lonely and whatever. Like, we just got to stop. Like, literally. Because it's not like, yeah, it works in our favor for the moment, maybe, but in the long term, we just look like assholes. So like, just stop agreeing with her like firsthand. Find out what actual was actually going on. Because whoever the fuck dude she was talking to was an idiot who was probably just trying to get in the pants anyway. And so after all that shit, just removed our fucking Snapchat, which I so glad I only had her on there. So glad didn't have her on any other social media. This is why I love the advancement of technology and messaging, because people always wonder why I never ask for anybody's phone number like off the rip. I always do Snapchat or something first. Never Facebook, nothing like that. Like I'd even fucking do Twitter because I barely even use that shit. It's no information, and I'll tell you why. There is a hierarchy when it comes to like dating or like meeting someone, where especially if you've been in like fucked up relationships or just fucked up situations, stuff like that, and you have like very bad trust issues. Snapchat and shit like that is your friend, because it's like, hey, you can still talk to me. If I feel like giving you the time of day, I will. If not, fuck off. If you act like a total asshole and a dipshit, delete, block, I'm done with you. You'll probably see, like, if you do see me in public, whatever. But if not, cool. I ain't never got to deal with your ass again. If shit goes well, then I'll probably go to the Facebook. Cause Facebook, that is like, depending on who you are, that's like your day to day. For some people. For me, it somewhat is, because me promoting, doing stuff, trying to get my name out there. So that's like people's day to day, week to week. That shows like more information for you. Excuse me. Now, the phone number, that means you are like super serious with this person. Super duper duper serious. It's like, okay, you have showed me I can trust you. You showed me that I I can give you this and you're not gonna fucking wild out and do nothing stupid. I feel like I can fucks with that. And you give that person your phone number. And hopefully they don't do no bullshit. Hopefully they don't do no bullshit to where it's like, okay, I gotta fucking block this person, this and that. Some people they gotta get their phone numbers changed because a dumbass be trying to creep and call them and shit like that. And so Snapchat is the shit. Anything like Snapchat, fucking Instagram, anything like that shit where it's like barely information. For me, if it is anything, it's gonna be Instagram, Snapchat, maybe Twitter. So that, because you ain't gonna know too much of shit. Like like my Snapchat barely post shit. Like I post a picture or some shit here and there, or like sometimes where I'm at. My Instagram is like promotional shit. My Twitter promotional shit. I barely put like personal stuff on there. Like if I give you a Facebook or like my actual phone number, like I'm like into you, trying to talk to you, like you built up my trust and actually wanted to give you this. But if you ask for it all like off the rip, and you're not like trying to connect, like collab with like like music wise or anything like that, nah, you getting Snapchat, Instagram, something like that. Like fuck that. Like I can't give you something what I just can't give you like something that personal right then and there. But that doesn't stop. There, going back to dating. Sorry, that doesn't stop my crazy luck woman. I've had the craziest luck lately with women and dating, to the point I think I'm just gonna stop just dating altogether. Somebody out there was probably just like, "Oh, he's gonna date men." I'm like, no, sorry. I'm still team ladies all day. Still team pussy. But it's just a thing of trying to find someone now, especially when honestly I'm trying to move in a couple months. It fucking sucks. Like even trying to find somebody just to fuck is annoying, because people just don't know how just to communicate or talk anymore. But going to a different story of trying to date someone. About a month or so ago, met this girl. I was DJing at Bourbon Street. I probably shouldn't have said the place, but hey, whatever. DJing at Bourbon Street, and I noticed someone that I used to work with. So I went up and said hi. We started talking. Then her sister was there, and her sister was really cute. So my ex coworker, she was talking to this guy, whatever, and I was talking to her sister. Tell her like she looked good, and she did. She did really look good. And my sister was trying to my old coworker was trying to talk to this guy. She's like literally halfway in this dude's car, like bent over, like all the way in this shit. So I take his sister to my car, just like hang out, but then she wanted to go with me. So I'm like, all right, let's kick it. And then where we gonna go? So she was like, can we go to your place? I was like, I wish we could, but fortunately we can't. And the reason why is my dad was staying with me for a little bit. My dad got sick. He needed somebody to stay with. And I was like, hey, like, I guess you got to stay with me. I didn't want him to. In the perfect world, I would have sent his ass with my fucking cousin and her 2 kids. And what she got like a fucking screaming, hollering, fucking now 2-year-old who he would have been miserable with. And also my 10-year-old cousin, like 10 or 11-year-old now, who something's wrong with him, and he would have hated it the entire time. Hated it. You got one kid who just acts really weird, and then the youngest kid who anytime my older female cousin, who was like their mom, if she's not like 2 feet next to him, he will start crying. Like, he will sound like a fucking siren. Almost. Excuse me. But yeah, he would just start crying like fucking crazy. But try to be respectful. Didn't bring it here. Couldn't go to her place because, get this, she had 5 kids. 5 kids. For some of you guys, it was like, that's a red flag right there. I know, but hey, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Thought some shit was about to pop out. Thought some shit was about to go down. So, what's the next best bet? Hotel, motel. I live by a bunch of them motherfuckers. So I was like, hey, I'll just go back to where I live at and find a hotel to stay at. Get it in. See how she about. Then just hang out, shit like that. Unluckily for me, this is literally a week or 2 before March Madness. So it's every single fucking basketball team, volleyball team, and even wrestling taking up every single hotel, motel, whatever in the town. I'm not shitting you. I think I actually counted. I went to 12 hotels. If anybody knows where I'm at, on Webb and like Kellogg, whatever, it's all those, I forgot, it's like Corporate Hills, whatever. It's all those fucking hotels, fucking Howard Johnson. It's some other shit. It's a fucking Marriott over there. It's all the from small, medium, top brand shit like that hotels. All that's over there. Nothing. No vacancies because of that shit. So I was like, all right, well, hotels not gonna be it. Try motel. Motel 6, Super 8, Best Western, all that shit. She was like, why are we gonna go here? Why can't we find an actual hotel? And it's like, well, as you just saw, everywhere's fucking got no vacancy. So I think the biggest thing for her was like her thinking of motels is like hookers, whatever, like that. And then me trying to get into a fucking motel, just like fuck. Even though she was trying to fuck, but she didn't want to say she wanted to fuck, which is annoying. I guess it made her feel a certain way. So I'm like, all right, I'll keep looking for a hotel. So then got to a point I was like, all right, I need to get gas. Pull up to Quick Trip. She pays for my gas, which I did not fucking expect. I had the money in hand. She comes and was like, oh no, I got you. 30 on blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. Then she had to go to the bathroom. So I'm pumping the gas. And I see her when she walks out. She comes, like she's on the phone. She had the pump across me, like walking back and forth. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm on the phone with my dad, telling him I'm alright, whatever, telling him the whole situation and shit. And then I see her sister pull up in the car that the guy that she was trying to get with was driving. And she's like darted, like coming straight at me. And she's like, hey, what the fuck? What's going on? I was like, what's up? She was like, did you leave my sister? I'm just like, no, I've been here the entire time. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, my sister called me and said that you left her here. I was like, no, I've been here at this pump the entire time. I haven't gone anywhere. I saw her like walking by. And this girl was crying and calls her sister to tell her that I left her at fucking Quick Trip. I'm just like, are you serious? So I'm getting pissed. Like, I'm getting pissed. I'm getting frustrated because I'm just like, I've only known you for about like an hour or two, and you're already annoying me. Like, you say you like me. We can't go anywhere to like go mess around. We try to get a motel. You try to be all super uppity about it. Try to go get gas, and then I'm standing here. You can't miss me. Like I'm 6'5". You can't miss me. Then I see you walk by. I know you saw. At least I hope you saw me, but probably drunk or whatever. And then now you got your sister here, being like, "Oh, she said that you left." I'm like, "No, I've been standing here the entire time." So then we at this dude's car, and I'm just like, you know what? I can give two shits less. Like either ride with me, we can go do whatever, or we can go with her, and I can be gone. Because I live like a half a block away, like half a mile away, if that, from Quick Trip. I could have went home, went to sleep, not gave a fuck. But no, she said she wanted to come with me. Her sister was like, give me your number. I want to call you in an hour to see where you guys are. I gave my number. She drove away. I got in the car with her dumbass girl. And then she just, the entire time, just like trying to be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just like, nah, fuck, I'm sorry. Fuck, I'm sorry. So then, still driving around trying to find a hotel or somewhere we can stay at. Then, when she keeps asking me the same question, well, why can't we go to your place? Why can't we go to your place? I'm like, I already told you, my dad is staying with me. It is my place. It is legit my place. Like this whole, like where I'm at right now, it's my place. And so she says this. It's like, I want to meet your dad. I'm like, what? I want to meet your dad. I want to see the ugly and the dirty side. I was like, girl, it's 3:00 in the morning. Hell no, you're not meeting my dad right now. You are fucking drunker than I think you are. Also, and this is a fucking side story, and I hated this so much. So every time we went into a hotel, she wanted to go inside with me, like right next to me, this and that, blah blah blah. So every time we go up to a person, we like, oh, do you have any vacancies and that? She keeps telling them it's our honeymoon, and I'm just like the first 2 times, all right, it's funny. But like every time you keep hearing it, and it's just like I'm just like, all right, you got to stop this shit. Then when it gets to like the 10th, 12th time, I'm just like, all right, you really need to stop this shit. Like I get it if like you not used to one night stands, whatever. Cut that shit the fuck out. So then we go to this one hotel. I park in front. Then she wants to get out. She fucking trips over the curb. like knee scraped up, fucked up. Like the person who was running the front desk, he's outside like smoke whatever. He was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Like I go to pick her up. I'm trying not to fucking laugh because this shit was funny. This shit was so funny. This shit could have been on fucking on an episode of Ridiculousness. I'm not joking. That's how funny this shit was. But tried to make sure she's okay. She said she was fine. Drops damn near fucking everything that was in her hand on the ground. Help her pick that up. We go inside. I asked the guy if they got any vacancies. He was like, "Oh, we don't, but let me check something for you." So the hotel we were at, they were sister hotels with Super 8. So he gets on the phone, talks to them like the third party shit or whatever. Gets us hooked up with like this 2-day, like literally like a 2-night stay, which we only needed one, but a 2-night stay in this hotel. It was like $90 or some shit like that. I can't remember. It was decent. So head over there. It's the Super 8 on North Rock. Get over there, and she wants to go and get the hotel room. So I'm sitting in the car, all right, whatever. Like I'm still frustrated, still annoyed. I'm just like, what the fuck is life right now? And she comes back out and says, "Oh, they say they don't have any vacancies. They don't have any rooms." I step out. I was like, "What the fuck you mean they don't got it?" So she gets in the car. I get out. I'm pissed because I'm just like, it's 4 a.m. I'm about the point where I'm about to just take her ass to her car and then take my ass back home. But I was like, I get out the car. I storm right into the fucking front desk. I was like, "Hey, we have a reservation for a room. We had somebody call from this hotel, this and that." She's like, "What was the last name?" I said, "What's the name on it?" I tell the name. She's like, "Oh yeah, we have it." I'm just like, she said that she was looking for a vacancy. We don't have any vacancies. I'm just like, okay. So then I go over to the car. I go to the front door where my car is. I gestured her to get in. I was like, "You told her the wrong thing." So she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Trying to be all apologetic. I'm like, "Just get in here." She pays for the hotel room. Get in the hotel room. The entire time, it just keeps talking. Just keeps talking. And I'm just sitting there. I'm laying, like, it's 2 beds in there. She's on one, I'm on the other. And she just telling me her whole life story about her fucking baby daddies, this and that. One of them is a great guy. The other one, he's a piece of shit. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there. I'm laying down in one of the beds. Like, we got the TV on. Fucking Ridiculousness is actually on, which is funny as shit ever. I'm watching that. I'm barely saying a word. Now I'm just like, it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired as shit. I'm already tired of her shit. So I'm just like, hey, just cutting the lights off. Want to go to bed. So she gets completely fucking naked. I'm just like, okay. And she wants me to do the same thing. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Because usually, like, I'm in fucking, like, boxers, basketball shorts, like, t-shirt, tank top, something like that. But I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Like, if this shit gonna happen, it's gonna fucking happen. So we still just talking and, kind of making a move, starting some shit. I'm so fucking tired. Little man's just like, "Nah, homie, not tonight." And I'm so pissed. Because I'm just like, out of this entire time, I don't even get to fucking reap my reward of finding a fucking hotel. Like, I got her in the damn bed. All this shit. And it's just like, nah, I'm too fucking tired. Even in my brain is just like, nah, homie, it's not happening. So I'm 0 for 1 at this point. Second time we meet up. Having a decent time. Do some karaoke. Invite her out. Do some karaoke, have a drink, get to know each other a little bit more. Because like the first time we met, wasn't the greatest. So I'm like, let's reset this. Let's just start this. Even she was like, let's restart this. So it's Monday night. Hanging with some people. Actually, no, it wasn't Monday. It was a different day. Sorry, but just hanging out, doing some karaoke, and she starts off with a beer and a shot. She asked me what I want. I was like, "Hey, give me a Budweiser. Let's do a tequila shot because I love tequila." And like most girls, "Ooh, I don't like tequila. Tequila's nasty." And it's like tequila's fucking good. So just doing a beer and a shot. Then probably like 10, 20 minutes goes by. "Hey, want another beer and a shot?" "Sure, no problem." Still doing tequila shot. I think like 10 minutes go by, something like that. Or maybe another 20 minutes, something like that. "Want another beer and a shot? Let's do a Fireball." And I was like, "All right, whatever, I don't care." Do another one. Then she tries to do another one. I'm just like, "Hey, I'm chilling right now." Then we go from doing karaoke to now she wants to go to a different bar. Now we're fucking bar hopping. Now, when I originally invited her out, she said that she was supposed to be going to pick up her kids from her parents' place. Because for some reason her parents didn't want to fucking watch her kids, but they'll watch her sister's kids, no problem. Stupid as fuck, it's annoying, but whatever. I get it. So we end up going to Emerson Biggins, and they're about to close down early. So she wants to get another beer and a shot there. And then before I even get to finish my fucking beer, she wants to do another one. I'm just like, "Hey, chill for a little bit." And I got no problem like drinking, but this is just supposed to be us like chilling. And when I'm chill, it's like I take my time trying to drink. It's not just like, chug, 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 and then like the next one. I was like, just sip on it, actually enjoying my drink. So then we go from Emerson Biggins over to Industry. And I know either one of or the like DJ that's there. And I go up to him, talking for a little bit because I'm noticing like the music that he's playing, and I normally play the same like kind of taste of music. Just trying to talk to him, but also be like, "Hey, I know you're a busy guy. I know you do a lot of stuff. If you need somebody, to cover for you, which he probably has a bunch of people, but hey, like if you want somebody to cover for you, let me know. We both got each other on Facebook and this and that. Message me." And she comes over, be like, "Oh, don't be talking to him like that. It sounds like you're begging, blah, 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 blah. You don't need him. I'm just like, Jesus, girl, just go away. So then I'm trying to tell her, like, look, I'm not begging him anything. Like, I'm just letting him know, like, hey, if you need somebody, just let me know. Like, if not, there's no problem. I got other places I can go to. Not trying to take a dig or anything like that, but, that's his place. He has the residency there. He can book I think he's like the guy who books the DJs or something. I'm not even sure. But I'm pretty sure he has like his people that he usually hits up. He's like, "Hey, I got something going on. Can you do this?" And I want to be one of those guys. But, she's fucked up and club closes down. So then she can't drive. She's that fucked up to where she can't drive. So she was like, "You need to drive my car." I'm decently enough good to drive. Drive a car, whipping that shit. Go all the way to her fucking parents' house so you can go pick up her kids. Like, it's like 1 in the morning, something like that. Pull it up to her fucking parents' crib. She's like, "I can't get out the car. I'm too drunk. I can't let them see me like this." So I'm like, "What do you want to do?" So let's go back to my place. Shit, say less. Back that bitch up, go to her place. Maybe get into her room. She taking everything off, looking all sexy and shit. Start making out, getting the groove in, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Man, that shit was horrible. She was trying to give me some head. She completely missed. Trying to get into the bed. It was doing too much. I was like, now I'm over 2. Want to go for over 3? Oh, I just have the worst luck, bro. So, over 3. Go out for drinks again. If you can see the pattern here, it's Every time we meet, it's always drinks. But say this right now, it is her asking to go out to drink. Me, I'm just there. Like I said, I don't mind having a drink or two like that, but you'll find a pattern here. So, 0 for 3. And I hate saying this out loud, but fuck it, because I don't care. Like I said, I have no shame. I'm literally doing a podcast about this shit. Like there is video proof of me saying this. I don't even care at this point. So we go to like a bar that she frequently goes to, which I had never been to. And, I was like, hey, I don't want beer. I want like a tequila and Sprite, Jack and Coke, whatever like that. I think I ended up getting like a tequila and Sprite. So I'm just sipping on it, having good. And she is like, hey, you want another one? You want another one? I'm just like, chill. Like, I'm still working on this one. Just chill. She's like, oh, you need another one. So then she tells the bartender to give me another one. I was like, all right, whatever, fine. Then still sipping on the next one. Then she's like, are you ready for another one? I'm just like, no, let's just relax. So I'm probably like 3 or 4 of those into the night. And also we taking shots too. So then she asked me again. It was like, "Oh, you ready for it?" I was like, "No, like I'm fine." Like that day I barely ate anything, and I'm a drinker where it's like I want something in my stomach before I drink anything. I hate drinking on an empty stomach because it gets you fucked up faster, which I hate that. I like being in control of my drinking, always, no matter what. Because usually I'm by myself when I drink. I don't want to be fucked up, and then I get pulled over and some shit like that. I want to be fine, especially not. My whole thing is I don't want to get fucked up on like a few drinks and then shit like that. Like I like having something in my system. I can enjoy drinks. I can chill whenever I want to. Honestly, shit, when I have something in my system, I can drink more. I've done that before. But she's in her zone to where it's just like she tries to take over, and it's pissing me off because it's like I kept noticing it. It was like anytime I kept saying no. She's like, okay, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, immediately be like, hey, you want another one? I'm going to get you another one. I was like, oh, fine. I'm like, no, I'm good. So, she goes and tells the bartender to get me another one and a shot. And I'm just like, hey, no, I'm fine. I really am fine. Please don't give me one. The bartender literally goes, oh, well, she's paying for it, so I'm going to do what she says. I'm just so pissed off. I'm just like, I don't want this drink. Like, I don't want this drink. I don't want the shot, whatever the fuck. So then she sees, like, the girl I'm with sees that I'm pissed, like, or annoyed. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, you wouldn't be sorry. Like, if you were sorry, you wouldn't have fucking did that. So then we go from that bar, because I was like, hey, I need to get food. I need something in my system. I'm hungry. I'm like legit hungry. Like I barely ate anything. So we stop at Taco Bell. Cause she wanted to go to Oasis. So I was like, hey, let's go to Taco Bell. And I just legit, like I said, just wanted something in my system, something quick. So I wanted those like Doritos Locos Taco, like that little combo meal that they have. So then she goes, oh no, that's not what you want. I'm gonna get you more. So then she orders some chalupas and like 2 burrito supremes on top of that. I'm just like, yo, that's not what I want. Like, I don't want all that. She's trying to fucking feed me and overfeed me and all this stuff. And then literally like pulls out one of the burritos and like trying to feed. I'm just like, hey, no, cut that shit. So then we get to Oasis. We sit in the fucking parking lot. I'm like killing these fucking tacos. Then we go inside, and then the same shit of her just like trying to pump fucking drinks. It's like she's trying to pump drinks into me like a dude trying to pump a drink into a chick he's really trying to fuck, and just like trying to get her drunk and shit. Like that's what she's trying to do. And I'm just like, hey, you gotta cut that shit. Like especially when I'm the one like who's probably got to drive too, which I end up having to drive. And we sitting in one of the booths. I'm just like, hey, look, I don't get why you keep doing this. I keep telling you no, and then you keep trying to push the envelope. Keep trying to push it and pressure me to drink. I'm just like, that shit ain't cool. And this literally happens Like this time and the next couple of times we hang out, to where I keep having to tell her, I was like, hey, you need to chill out with like trying to get me to drink all this much. I'm like, I'm not trying to do all that. Like I'm trying to hang out with you and chill. I'll have a drink or two like that, but I ain't trying to drink like fucking crazy. I'm not. It's like I'm not trying to have a fucking party every goddamn day. And so then she's all like, "Oh, I'm sorry, blah 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 blah." Go back to her place, try to smash. She fucking falls asleep. 0 for 3. Now for the final time, 0 for 4. Yes, it is a complete shutout. I couldn't kick a field goal. None of this shit. I'm doing my thing. It's a Tuesday. You know, my Tuesday night I have a residency. So I'm doing my thing, having a good night. You know, she's texting me back and forth. She's like, "Oh, I hate the fact that you can't text back when you're working." I'm just like, you do realize what part of my job is. Plus, also, my phone is like in my pocket. I don't have it on top of the DJ booth looking at it, like it's in my pocket. You know, I'm doing my thing. And so she texted me, was like, "Hey, where are you at?" I'm like, "I'm at Blue." And she's like, "Why didn't you tell me you were there?" I'm just like, and I told her this from the get go. And it was a whole thing of, she could not remember a lot of stuff that she would tell me or the things that I would tell her. And it happened a lot. A lot, a lot. And so I told her, I was like, "I tell you I'm here every Tuesday. Every single Tuesday. This is like my night." So she's like, "I'm coming up there right now." She tried to make it seem like I'm hiding something. I'm like, there's nothing to hide. I would have told you if I was talking to somebody. I have no problem telling anybody that I'm talking to somebody. But that ain't the case here. Like, I'm barely even talking to her, because we're not in a fuck relationship. We trying to fuck around. Trying to fuck around. But either she stops it, or she falls asleep, or I'm too drunk, or too tired. Something like, it's just fucking craziness. And so she gets up there. She finally comes. And I did not realize she was already fucked up. Cause she comes in there with this fucking ball of energy. And then just like, again, trying to get me to drink. And before she gets there, I had like 3 people offer me a beer. Like two guys offered me a beer. One person offered me a shot. I didn't even want either one of them. Just like, fuck it. Like, just sip on it. Get water. This and that. As soon as she comes over, it was like, "Hey, what do you want to drink?" I was like, "I want nothing. I legit want nothing." I've had people offer me, I think I even had other people offer me drinks. Like, "Oh, no, I'm good. I'm not drinking tonight." And she's like, "Oh, you'll drink with other people, but you won't drink with me." I'm like, that's not the point of this. Like, I just don't want to drink at all. I didn't want to drink earlier in the night. I didn't want to do anything. So then I was like, you know what? I'll switch from beer. I have an actual like drink. Get a Jack and Coke, tequila and Sprite, something that will kill the beer taste and the shit out of my stomach. So I was like, if you give me anything, give me a rum and Coke. Like, that's it, a rum and Coke. She's like, double. I'm like, no, not no double. Just a regular rum and Coke. She said, "Do you want a shot?" I'm like, not really. She was like, "Oh, come on, you gotta have a shot." I'm like, fine, give me El Camino. Because El Camino got a fucking energy drink in it. And it cuts that taste of the alcohol. It was perfect enough for me. I was like, I didn't want nothing super heavy. I didn't want no Fireball. At this point, I didn't even want fucking tequila. I was like, I just wanted something that was a different taste that wasn't beer at this point. Because like days of us hanging out, I just had nothing but beer, and that shit was like weighing on my stomach. So then she was like, "Oh, you need a double." So then she runs over to the bar, and again knows the bartender here, and it was so annoying because I'm just like, if this shit happens again, I'm gonna be so pissed. So I'll run out of the DJ booth, and then she tells the bartender, I was like, "Oh, he wants a double rum and Coke, and two El Caminos." And I'm just like, "No, I just want one, and I want a single." And the same thing that happened at Tropics happens here. Like, I'll fucking work here. She goes, "Oh no, she's paying for it, so I'm gonna do, like, that's my girl, so I'm gonna do what she says." So now, Now, I'm standing here with fucking two El Caminos and a fucking double Jack and Coke. So I take the fucking shots real quick. I feel like shit. And I'm just all night sipping on this like it's probably like midnight, 12:30, something like that. So for like an hour, I'm letting the ice melt in that fucking drink and just like sipping on it, sipping on it, sipping on it. This is the one time I do not want to drink like at all. So then now she wants to get up on the dance floor and dance. And at this point, I'm like feeling all the alcohol that I've like. I had like a beer or two, a shot, and then the drink that she gave me, and them two shots. Like I barely ate. Which now I'm at the point where I'm gonna start eating more. I'm a big dude, but I barely eat shit like I used to. But I'm gonna go back to like eat more food, which I know everybody's like, oh, he's fat. Why did you eat? And like, first of all, shut the fuck up with that shit. But whatever. So get on the dance floor. We dancing. She grinding on me, kissing this and that, blah blah blah. And then, she's all like, oh, she like come back, like come home with me. I want your dick. This blah blah blah. Doing the white girl shit, which I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just like, she's bullshitting. Like this ain't really gonna happen. Like this is bullshit. I'm going home. No. And she's like all over me. Even when I get done with stuff. So we in the parking lot. Like I'm already packed up. We in the parking lot. Making out, this and that. She's saying she want me, this and that. I'm just like, I'm looking at him like, all right, fuck it. Like, dude, like the guy part of my brain is like at full force right now. The logic part of my brain got fucking shut down. So she gets in my car. I'm driving. Passes the fuck out in my passenger seat. She is gone. So I'm pissed. I'm just like, fuck. So, yeah, can't take her to her place. Can't take her to my place. It's like we fucking meeting for the first time. Going to find a hotel. But like this time, getting a motel. So Motel 6, they had nothing. Go to Super 8. They got vacancy. Paid, like, the only thing was I couldn't use card. So the dude said it was like $77 to get a room. But it want a $100 deposit. I was like, fuck you. So gave him $77, gave him $100 in deposit. He put it in a little fucking envelope. Now, got the room. I'm gonna get out the fucking car. I'm shaking her. I was like, wake up. Trying to get her out the car to walk her inside. Everything. She finally wakes up. She's like, I want to sleep in the car. I'm like, no, you're not sleeping in my car. I got us a room. Get out the car. She finally gets up. She's all like moody and naggy and shit. Then it like I said, it's like the first time we met. She wants to talk, then try to be all like sexy, and then try to be all lovey-dovey and feely and touchy-feely, all this stuff, saying that she want me. So I'm like, all right. We get into bed, starting shit. It's about to get hot and heavy and stuff. Then she stops it. I'm just like, I'm getting so damn pissed because I'm just like, you wanted this. You wanted this. This wasn't me coming after her. This was me doing my job. Was about to go home. Having a decent ass night, and her coming to where I was working and wrecking my night. It wasn't a bad thing because it was nice seeing her. I did like her, but it was the fact that all the bullshit, and she stops it, and I'm just like, fuck that. Like, and of course I stop. I do stop. Everybody look at me. I stopped. I'm gonna get the camera right now. I stopped. I was pissed, but I got off top of her, laid there. She fucking fell asleep. I couldn't fall asleep for shit. And next day, like every other day, which I tried to be. Well, I am. Not I tried to be. I was trying to be a decent person because it was like during the week. she had to work. Every time she had to go to work, I set an alarm so that way she can get up, do what she had to do, does that, blah, blah, blah. She'd be passed the fuck out. She missed work like 3 times when we hung out. 3 times. And every single time I tried to wake up, same shit, like shaking her, calling her name, doing all this shit. Wasn't doing anything, so I just fucking laid there. And she had to call in to work, this and that. I'm just like, hey. So this last time, I got pissed. Like I was annoyed. Like I woke up, got dressed, and she was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Nothing. Like let's just go." And then I finally told her, I was like, "It is annoying how every time you get drunk, you try to flash your money around, and then you try to boss me around. You try to pump drinks into me, even though I keep saying no. Then you got to get all lovey-dovey and touchy-feely, saying that you want me, and then you either pass out or you say you don't want to do it, and it pisses me the fuck off because I'm just like, I could have just went home. I literally could have just went home, had a decent time with myself. I could have got done at Blue, got some food, went home, and went to sleep, which is what I intended to do. I was not trying, like I said, didn't care about seeing her, but it was a thing of I didn't want anything planned. I didn't want to fucking sleep in a hotel. I didn't want to sleep at her place. I wanted to sleep at my place. I just wanted to go home. After fucking crazy ass nights of being around her, I just wanted to go home at night for a change. Like, do my thing like I was, and then just go home. And I know for some people it's probably just like, oh, well, you were with this hot chick. This blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, that's not the point. Trust me, I've been with a lot of hot chicks. I'm not even fucking exaggerating that one. I've been with a lot of super fucking hot chicks and still didn't give a fuck about, like, I just wanted to go home. And then she ended up getting all defensive about it, be like, oh, well, that's just my love language, I do. I'm just like, but you overdo it. Like, it's like, it literally to a sense felt like she was momming me. Like, she was, like, trying to nurture me. I'm just like, I don't need a mom. Unfortunately, my mom passed away, it'll be 9 years, I believe, ago now. Like, mom passed away. I don't need another mom. I had my actual mom. I had my aunt, who was like a second mom to me. I had my grandma, my dad's mom passed away. I don't need a mom. I don't, unfortunately. Like, I wish my mom was still here. I wish my aunt was still here. I wish my grandma was still here. I honestly do. But unfortunately, they're not. And I don't need anybody else trying to take that place, especially someone who is a mom who needs to be a mom to her kids. So then, it got to the point where, we hadn't talked to each other for a while. And I hit her up like a few weeks ago. And she tried to tell me that she didn't want to be in a relationship, but that she also didn't want fuck buddies and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, well, we can still be friends. And I was like, we can't be something that we never were. And I know that's a fucked up thing to say, but I mean, it's true. There was no time of where we were friends. Yeah, we got to know each other and stuff like that, but that wasn't friendship. It was us trying to get into each other's pants. It wasn't me trying to get in her pants. It was her trying to get in my pants as well. We hung out. We had drinks. We did dumb shit, but we were never friends. Like, even from the beginning of us meeting, we weren't friends. I wasn't scared to say it. I'm not scared to say it to anybody. It's like when the thing we were talking about was sex, and we were drinking, and we were making out and touching and shit like that. I don't do that with my friends. It's like, that's somebody that I don't see as a friend. I know girls do that shit with their friends where they'll get drunk and fucking kiss and shit like that, but that wasn't this kind of case. I don't do this shit with my fucking guy friends. Like, hell no. Like, that shit don't fucking fly at all. So I'm just like, when in the few weeks that we've known each other were we friends? Like, we've known each other for a month. We hung out and stuff like that. And she was the one that had things going too fast. Me, I was trying to be chill and try to be cool. And I ain't trying to make nobody look bad and nothing like that. Because it's been times in relationships where I've tried to rush shit and it was on me. But literally this one, it was on her where, at first it was like, oh, I don't want you to meet any of my kids yet. It's going to be a process. And then end up meeting 4 out of the 5. Like within the span of like a week, 2 weeks, something like that. I don't know. But the point of this is just dating fucking sucks. I know of a lot of people it's like, oh, it must be easy being a guy and dating. I'm just like, no. Like, for one, you're not going out every night and just fucking getting pussy and stuff like that. Especially not me. Shit, I'm at fucking home. Like, literally, where I'm at, the sun is going down right now. I'm going to end this podcast in a little bit, but not every dude is out just trying to fucking get girls and just to have sex and shit like that. Me, personally, yeah, I like having I fucking love having sex. I do. But trying to find someone with actual personality and a conversation, that shit is hard as hell. I probably could go find a girl right now and just to go have sex. I can go find somebody and fucking pump drinks into and then just go fuck her or whatever. But I choose not to because I'm not that idiot. I'm not fucking 20 or 20. I'm not 21. Sorry. I'm not 21 years old and being like, oh, the way to get to a girl is you got to get her drinks. And like, even when I was 21, I never did dumb shit like that. Barely buy girls drinks as it is right now at the age of 27, about to be 28. I'm like, the only thing you're going to get when you try to pump drinks into a girl is a drunk chick that you got to babysit. And I get enough of that when I'm sober. So, fuck that. I said people don't know how to date anymore. And I'll call myself, I don't, like, it's certain points where, I do meet somebody and then I just want to fuck around with them and then just dump them. I've had that. Females done that with me where we'll have sex and then just like, all right, that's it. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, it's literally just, I needed some dick that day or that night or whatever. I don't know, like I said, it fucking sucks, but that's the way of the world right now. Everybody trying to make it seem like the world is such this great place. I'm like, no, it's not. It's really fucking not. But I don't know, at this current point, I will be deleting my fucking Twitter and my Bumble and whatever the fuck I have. I think I got like Plenty of Fish or some shit like that, which I'm getting rid of that shit too, because it's nothing but fucking spam bots and shit. I met like maybe 3 people off that shit, and it's not even fucking worth it. I think the last person I actually did meet who was actually pretty decent, it was a girl I met recently, but I didn't do anything with because I didn't think she was that attractive. But and I'm pretty sure she probably just thought I was wasting the time. But it's getting dark and I didn't fucking turn my lights on, and I don't really feel like it right now because I should have did this earlier. Oh, that is the first episode of the Negative Degree podcast. You can follow me, it's G on there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Look me up, DJ Frostbite. Once again, that is the Negative Degree podcast. I hope everybody enjoyed this. The next episode hopefully will be next Sunday, unless something else fucking happens. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the next topic because I don't have the shit planned out like that. It all depends on what the fuck happens in my life and what I feel like talking about. But in the meantime, stay negative. And as always, stay frosty.